Hey everybody, we're going to go ahead and take video notes from lesson 7th grade Common Core, lesson 8.3 and 8.4. We're finding the area of circles and composite figures. Please remember that composite figures are made up of more than one figure. Here are the formulas that you need to be familiar with. Alright, this is area equals pi r squared. This is for circles. Area is length times width, square or a rectangle. Area is base times height, that is a parallelogram. Area equals 1/2 times the quantity base 1 plus base 2 times height. That would be for a trapezoid. And then triangles, regardless of what they look like, is 1/2 base times height. We're still going to be using 3.14 for pi because we want to be consistent as we go ahead and find answers so we all get the same thing. 22/7 is a little more accurate, but we're still going to stick with 3.14. In all 5 examples, we're going to be finding the area. In example 1, we are going to find the area of a circle. We start with area equals pi r squared. When we do area equals pi r squared, I go ahead and identify the radius. The radius is not listed here. It's 22, the diameter, so I know that I need to use 11 as my radius. Okay. And when I do 11 squared, that means 11 times 11. There's 2 ways to do that on the calculator. I can do 3.14 times 11, and then I can use the caret, all right? Or I can do 3.14 times 11 times 11. Regardless, my answer is 379.94. Ooh, I did put units. Anybody know what the units was on?
Centimeters.
Centimeters.
Yeah.
All right, so centimeters squared. This is very important that you're always squaring your units because this right here indicates the junk on the inside compared to perimeter or circumference, which is the distance around. In example 2, that's going to be different than circumference because you're not adding on the bottom part because you're just finding half of it. So I'm starting with my formula like I do every time, and I'm going to do 3.14 times 7.5 squared. And so I'm simply going to type in 3.14 times 7.5 times 7.5. And I'm going to get my circumference is 176.625 inches squared. But because it's a semicircle, we're going to divide by 2. And my answer ends up equal 88.3125 inches squared. And I'm indicating it with the units of inches squared. Example 3, I want to know just the shaded area. It's a circle within a square, so I have to do 2 area problems. Area of a square or a rectangle is length times width, so it's 12 times 12 millimeters, so my area is 144 millimeters. If the side of the square is equal to the diameter, I can use circumference equals pi r squared, no, area equals pi. This should have been an A. So area equals pi r squared. Area equals 3.14 times 6 squared. All right. So 3.14 times 6 times 6 equals 103.04, and that's millimeters. So the area of the entire square is 144 millimeters squared. The area of the circle is 113.4 millimeters squared. Therefore, when I go ahead and I do this, I need to subtract the 2 because I just want to know the shaded parts. So I take 144 and I subtract it by 113.04. 114.44 minus 113.04. And I'm getting an answer of just the shaded area, 30.96 millimeters squared. Just the shaded area. All right, we're going to move on to a composite figure for number 4. I'm going to go ahead and know that my area is length times width. My area of this square is 6 times 6. So my area is 36 inches squared, including my units is inches squared. This is a half circle, so area equals pi r squared, but I got to remember to take half of it because it's not a full circle. And so area equals 3.14 times 36 divided by 2. So I have 3.14 times 36 divided by 2. This is going to end up equaling 56.52 inches squared. And then I'm going to add this with this. 3.14 times 36. No, this should be a 3. Because you see what I did here? This is the whole diameter, but I only need the radius, so my number's going to change for that. 3.14 times 3 times 3, that's going to be 28.26, and I'm going to add that to 36. So my answer should be 64.26 inches squared. On my last example, I have a trapezoid, and I just want to make sure you understand the formula for a trapezoid. Area equals half of the base, top and bottom, times the height. Height is always the straight up. So I have a base of 1 and 2 that equals 8 plus 12, and my height is 10. Area equals 1/2 of 20 times 10. So half of 20, I think I got you in there for that part. Half of 20 is 10. Area equals 100 times 100. And area equals, or 10 times 10 is 100 yards squared. All right, any mistakes?
No.
Okay, all right. So please remember that when you're taking the notes, you're writing everything down, you're stopping and starting. If you have questions on anything, you're writing them in the columns, or you're sending emails. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Make sure you know those formulas.